Save big on all your Halloween needs, all in the Kroger app. Get juicy red, green, or black seedless grapes for 99 cents a pound. Then get tender USDA Choice boneless beef chuck roast for $4.99 a pound, all with your card and a digital coupon. Shop these deals at your local Kroger today, or tap the screen now to download the Kroger app to save big today. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Prices and product availability subject to change. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Married to Reality. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-host. After this episode, I may need to check her phone to make sure she hasn't been scrolling Cairo Talk. It's the one and only Teresa.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? And I don't get it.
Cairo Talk.
What's
right?
Cairo Talk?
Apparently, it's the TikTok channels sweeping the nation. It's big, handsome men bending women in different positions, according to Adnan.
Oh, I did not pick up on that.
Good. Either you don't know what it is or you're a good actress. But yeah, don't stay away from Cairo Talk. Apparently, it's too hot to handle.
I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm barely on TikTok, so.
Good answer.
It's how old I am.
It's the right answer. Yeah, no, Adnan heard that Tigerlily went to get a chiropractic session in and had no idea what it was, and then went on TikTok because that's where you go these days. TikTok is the new Google, apparently.
Yeah, unfortunately, because don't get me wrong. There are a lot of cool stuff on TikTok I sometimes see. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. More like life hacks.
Sure.
But guys, don't get news from TikTok.
Yeah.
Let me leave it at
Life
that.
hacks and back cracks.
Sure.
Butt cracks, too. A lot of butt cracks. But I don't know if that's on Cairo Talk.
All right.
TikTok I haven't found my algorithm. I feel like I say this every time we talk about social media. I haven't found the right algorithm for me. So that's why it hasn't sucked me in, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think I'm big on the Reels on Instagram. Like, I do check that. Or even whatever I see on Facebook. I don't know if it's fortunately or unfortunately, but my entire feed is pregnant women and 90-day fiancé. I don't know what it says about me.
Well,
I guess it says a lot.
It says exactly who you are.
Sometimes there is a seal or two, but
Sure.
it's literally pregnancy and all the 90 days drama. That's all I see.
Man, what more do you need?
Very true.
So, all right, we're here to talk about this new episode of B90, Before the 90 Days. Before we do, a little business real quick. We're on Patreon and Supercast. We're talking about 90 Day the Other Way.
Yes.
Over there. I think that season's got, according to my math, maybe 4 more episodes.
Wait, the other way?
Yeah.
4 more?
I would say so.
I'm wondering if they're going to do a tell-all. They must.
I think you gotta. This seems like it's winding down. So I could see 2 more episodes and maybe a 2-part tell-all or so.
Yeah, I can see that.
We're talking about that on Patreon and Supercast. Patreon.com/marriedtoreality, marriedtoreality.supercast.com. If you want to hear our thoughts, join us at the Cousins Club level. If you want to watch us in full HD, in full color, join us on the Family Affair level.
Yes.
There's video of that podcast plus a monthly bonus, and we're doing some fun holiday bonuses. So 'tis the season to get on the Patreon and Supercast.
Yes.
Also, make sure you're following us on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod, mainly because that's where you can call in. It's the direct line to Teresa and I. You can share your thoughts, send us messages. We'd love to hear from you guys. So call in on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod.
Yes, and thank you guys to all of you who message us saying congrats on the baby news.
Yeah,
I really
news.
appreciate all the love on Instagram, on Patreon. Thank you guys. You are the best, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, very sweet. Thank you. So that's Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. Also, make sure you're following the podcast wherever you're listening. It's so easy to do. Just look down and smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as Split, Croatia, because it's a really nice city. If you have a chance, go.
All right.
Not just to Split. Croatia is just awesome. I do love Croatia. I do need to take you to Croatia yet.
Yeah, take
But Croatia is awesome. And there is an ice cream shop on every corner.
Banana Split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
That'd be a good name for an ice cream shop.
Oh, yeah, for sure. In Split.
Yeah.
What is a banana split? I always hear it about it. I don't know what it is.
It's an ice cream concoction with a couple scoops of ice cream, a banana, fudge it up a little bit.
There's a real banana in it?
Real banana.
Ooh, okay.
Not bad.
Not bad.
All right. So smash like it's as hot as that. And last but not least, if you haven't left a review, you guys know we love. If you leave a 5-star review and you write something, we'll read it on this podcast for everyone to hear.
Yes.
All right. Before we get into this episode, what do you say we do a little 90-day by the way?
Let's hear it.
All right. I don't know how we'll ever top last week's 90-day by the way, but here we go. We can try. By the way, number 1, the rumors are true. It has been confirmed. We have a premiere date. The Last Resort is back for season 2.
Woohoo! Guys, I watched the previews and it's amazing.
Yeah. There's a trailer out. It's sweeping the internets. It's sweeping Cairo Talk. If you haven't seen it, watch it. But 6 couples are heading to Arizona for some much needed therapy.
I have to say that I live in Florida, obviously. I do like Arizona a lot. That whole setup looked more fun than what they did in Florida.
Well, I don't know exactly what city it was or town, but Sedona is like the capital of healing.
True.
So I don't know if they're in Sedona, around Sedona, but definitely that's where you go to get in touch with your feelings and make some changes in your life and connect with your partner and with nature. You go to Arizona, you don't go to the Florida Keys. You go to the Florida Keys to ruin your relationship, and then you pop over to Sedona to try to fix things.
I don't think they're in Sedona based on what I saw. I think they're somewhere outside of Phoenix.
That's Sedona.
I mean, in a way, yes. Because there are not that many places in Arizona. Arizona doesn't have cities like Florida does. Like it's
True.
You go from a city to a city.
There's a couple, yeah.
There's a lot of land. That's what I'm trying to say.
A lot of land. But I'm excited. So we have 6 couples. They've been confirmed. You heard it here first on this podcast, but let's run it back and go through them. We got Ari and Benny. All right. Haven't heard from them in a while. But
I know.
they're going to make an appearance. I don't know how it's going to go for them. My guess, not too well. Brandon and Julia, kind of miss them. They kind of disappeared from the 90-day franchise. I don't know whose decision that was, but now they're back, and I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Me too. And there have been these confusing stories about them that they broke up,
Yeah.
they didn't break up, she may be pregnant. Like, I've seen it all. And so I'm very curious to see what's actually going on.
If the floor of a Crunch Fitness can impregnate you, yes, she is probably pregnant.
Well, there is this snippet from the Last Resort that Brandon freaks out that she cheated on him. So, interesting.
TBD. Also, Gino and Jasmine, okay, which I'm excited about, sort of, but also it makes me think this whole last storyline with them was a sham just to get them on the Last Resort. So I'll take it. I like watching them, but I just wonder how authentic their issues are.
Yeah, because didn't she post a photo of Gino with his awful, awful back hair recently? That looks like they're back together.
Yeah.
But you still see these news, quote unquote news, floating around that she has a boyfriend. It's like, I don't know. Who knows?
Stay tuned.
We'll find out.
All right. Next up, Robin, Sophie. I don't see this one ending well.
I don't think, we'll
I
see.
don't think they're going to make it necessarily, but we'll see. The Last Resort can help them out. And then 2 kind of surprise couples. One I'm extremely like clear my calendar. I'm probably going to take the week off just to prepare for this.
Can I guess?
Well, let's first talk about the one that I'm kind of shocked by. I'll take it. I'll definitely take it, but a little shocked by it. Josh and Natalie.
Yeah, I mean, they're not even a real couple.
Not even a real couple. He doesn't even want to be with her.
Yeah.
What is there to fix? There was nothing to begin with.
I thought you need to, I mean, so far we've only seen people
Married.
Married. Although Molly and
Louise. No, not Louise. That was the OG. I don't know.
Kelly. Molly and Kelly
Yeah.
weren't married, but you said, and many people said that they were basically a last minute replacement for Cole and Vanessa.
Yeah.
So I think they invited Natalie to this because you cannot go wrong with Natalie.
Yeah.
Like, you want some drama? Invite Natalie to the mix. So I'm here for it.
Yeah. If you can't get Angela, you get Natalie.
Exactly.
Battily. For batshit crazy. All right. But no, that one's not the one I'm clearing my calendar for. The one I am leaning all the way in for. My new best friend. Really bonded with him down in Miami. We hit it off. He would not leave me alone. I wasn't sure if he was trying to get me in a threesome or if he just needed a job. I don't know why he was talking my ear off, but he was. And he's my new favorite. My old favorite as well. Just my favorite. Take a guess.
It's Loren and Stacey.
Unbelievable. Thank you, TLC, for making this happen.
It's a gift that keeps on giving. I don't know what happened with Darcy and Stacey, to be honest.
I know, because clearly they don't have bad blood with the network,
No.
or otherwise Stacey would not be invited here. Maybe they couldn't film simultaneously. How do you do a Last Resort and a Darcy Stace season?
Or maybe there was nothing else to film. Like, everything was
Teresa?
kind of like...
There's always something to film.
Well, true, but I'm thinking, well, there was always, Darcy needs to have a new man. Does she have a new man? Last time Darcy dated, and these two are still kind of together. So there was nothing really, like, what else is there? Unless Darcy's really getting married.
Here's what you do. You get Stacey and Florian on Last Resort.
Okay.
You get Darcy on The Single Life.
Ooh.
Okay.
I would love to watch Darcy on The Single
That's
Life.
how you do it. You iron out all the details. You get Darcy and Man, Stacey and Florian. You keep them solid. Now you do season 4 or whatever it is of
They would be like 5.
yeah, Darcy and Stacey. That's how you do it. So very excited. It premieres Monday, December 2nd, which is why I believe The Other Way will wrap
True.
last week of November. And we'll get Last Resort, 8 p.m., Monday, December 2nd.
Whew.
We didn't discuss, but I have to imagine coming to a Patreon near you.
Oh, 100%. That's going to be the new thing on the Patreon that's going to replace the current season.
Yes. So very excited. Again, the trailer is all over the internet. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Get excited.
Yes.
All right. By the way, number 2, speaking of Ari and Binny, we can add a new profession to Binny's resume.
What is it?
Uber driver.
All right.
Recently, a fan ran into Binny at work in Vegas. Binny picked him up.
Do
in
they
Vegas.
both live in Vegas, or is she still in Pennsylvania?
I don't think they're together, and I don't think it was ever Pennsylvania. I thought it was Jersey.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was Jersey.
But I imagine he's following his MMA dreams in Vegas. That's the capital of UFC. Vegas is like another 90-day outpost. You have Florida. If you can't make
Very
it in
true.
Florida, you go to the minors in Vegas. Because between those two states, or Vegas is a city, but between those two states, Nevada and Florida, that accounts for like 80% of 90-dayers.
Very true.
So he's out there. I haven't seen a fight come up with him recently. I think it's been like 2 years since he fought MMA.
Oh, maybe he doesn't do it anymore.
I know he got into some other showbizy stuff. He was doing like some Marvel touring show.
Yeah, I think he's just a performer.
I think he's a performer. And now he's driving Uber and also going to be on Last Resort.
All right, I'm excited.
So yeah, love Benny. So excited to see his drama unfold on TV.
Yeah, I don't think you and I will ever run into him in Vegas because I will never, ever, ever take an Uber in Vegas again.
Well, that's because you're banned from Uber in Vegas.
I'm not anymore, but it's because they just suck. Uber's the worst. Moving on.
All right, you heard it here first. Let's talk about the reason we're here, Teresa. Sunday night, 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days, Season 7, Episode 9.
Episode 9. Time flies.
Time flies when you're watching crazies.
Let's start with my new favorite couple, Bozo and Vanja.
Speaking of flying, all right, here's the issue. We know Vanja, she's got the heels on. She can't make her flight. She misses her flight. She's rebooked, whatever. Not an issue. We've all missed a flight in Frankfurt, okay?
And we all missed a flight in Frankfurt because of freaking Orlando and our beautiful, beautiful but unexpected Florida weather.
It's pretty expected. If you're trying to take off anywhere in Florida around 3 p.m., you're going to get delayed.
Especially during the hurricane season in the summertime.
Yes, but she'll find a flight. She gets put on another flight. That's not an issue. The issue is that she's been trying to contact Bozo for hours. No success. He's not answering. Finally, she does FaceTime him and he picks up. And the relief on her face said it all to me. The fact that she was so relieved that he answered, I'm like, oh, this relationship is terrible.
Terrible.
You're flying across to another country, an international flight, and you're actually relieved that the person picked up who you're going to see?
I know. And here is why I'm excited about this couple. Because Bozo is such a loser, but he doesn't know that. And she really craves love, but she doesn't know he's such a loser. And on the other hand, Bozo doesn't think that he's a loser. He thinks, oh, all right, well, here's the woman coming to see me. My mom wants me to settle down. I mean, she's successful. I mean, let's see if it works out. I don't think Bozo is that excited about her. That's why I'm excited about this.
Bozo, you're 100% right. Bozo is stuck living, or he's stuck in the dream of what his life could have been. He's a handsome guy, somewhat handsome guy, living in Europe, playing ball, and he thought, I'm going to make it. I have this dream. I'm going to be a professional athlete. I'm this semi-decent looking guy. The world is my oyster. And that never came to fruition. But he's still in that mindset of like, maybe it could, maybe I will, maybe I am. And he's not, and it's never going to happen. And he's struggling. He's in arrested development. He's struggling to mature and realize that, oh, life isn't panning out the way I thought it was going to. I need to pivot. I need to make changes. And he's not making those changes.
No, but again, very excited about this couple, but I'm bothered by his mindset because he is just so comfortable and lazy because, okay, he said, oh, I play a ball, I play in a minor or whatever league. Bro, you play in someone's backyard on Saturday afternoon with the boys who has to work 8 to 5 during the week where you do nothing.
He's playing pickup.
Yeah, and it's like, it bothers me when someone doesn't, I mean, we all need money. We all need to make a living, right? If one thing doesn't work out, well, you need to pivot and find something else so you can get out of your mom's apartment and maybe you will be more successful with the ladies. Because I don't know about you ladies, but if, let's say, before I met John, I started dating someone in their 30s and I realized they're unemployed living with mom, that would be a very, very quick ending to the relationship because it's such a turnoff.
Yeah. This hits a little close to home for me. And I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but it wasn't me in the athletic world, but it was me in the music world. And I've talked about it before. Teresa, you know very well, I played in cover bands, right? And had some success in cover bands. That was never the dream. The dream was always you go play originals, you become a rock star, right? But then that's nearly impossible to make happen. So then you set your sights on something more realistic and you play in cover bands and you kind of tour a little bit and you make some money. And then you realize, oh, I'm 30 years old. I need to actually focus on something long term. But there's so many people who are stuck in that cycle and think like, no, I'm living the dream. Maybe it could still happen. And then you end up with 30-year-old, 40-year-old, 50-year-old, 60-year-olds who are just like stuck in this cover band scene. And maybe they live at home, maybe they don't, but they just still think maybe one day. Bozo, I think, still thinks maybe one day.
Yeah, and I see it. I mean, you realize your other potentials and you're very successful at what you do way before you turned 30.
Yeah.
I met you before you turned 30 and you were very successful at the time.
You met me at 29.
I think so. But not being in a cover band. I met you after you were done with your cover band era. But here's the thing. We have a friend. You have a friend. He's my friend too. He still lives in the cover band world, right?
Yeah.
He loves it. He loves it. He does make some money, takes up all his free time, but he has a day job. I don't know if he loves it or hates it.
He does not love it.
But he has a day job that pays his bills if the cover band didn't work out, or, oh man, they canceled a show on me. He doesn't rely on it. That's all I'm saying. He lives
Fair.
on his own. He has his government fund. I don't think as long as he's going to do it, I don't think he can really find the love of his life and have a family because of his crazy schedule. I'm friends with him on Facebook. He's all over the place up in Connecticut. But at least like he is self-sufficient. That's my point.
Good point.
Bozo does nothing. He plays ball and he sits around the house with mom and tastes ice cream on the way home from the pickup game. Like that's why it bothers me.
It's a good point. So Bozo, I think when we first saw this storyline playing out and he's not answering the calls, I kind of thought, oh, he was busy hooping or sleeping, or no, he was actively ignoring Vanja because I think he was nervous to come clean. I think on the internet, on social media, he's portraying himself as this more successful basketball player, living this life. I think he got scared. Oh, this is real. Oh, I have to come clean. I need to tell Vanja I live at home with my mom. And he started to pull away.
Yeah, but she's going to find out. And I hope that she's going to run fast because someone like Vanja, okay, she has 4 jobs. John says she has 3 hobbies and 1 job. Regardless, she's self-sufficient. She has her own home. She has a car. She has her friends. She has her life. She doesn't live with mommy doing nothing, right?
Yeah.
For someone like her who made it in the U.S. to go and be with someone like Bozo, it's just, no. He is a big child. You don't want to deal with a big child in your 40s.
Well, some women, and I don't understand this, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, think they can change these men. And I've never seen it done successfully.
I would never want to change anyone because then that's not who you are. I feel like, again, it's not easy to meet the right person. It's almost impossible. And I feel like when you get lucky, you get lucky, right? I think I got very lucky with John, and I'm sure a lot of you guys did get lucky too with your partners, but it's not easy out there. And I think a lot of people settle. She may settle, but she's not going to be fully happy because he's going to be on her nip.
True.
He's going to move from mom's nip to her nip.
True. So we see them, they finally meet. Vanja gets to the airport. Bozo's picking her up. Looks like Bozo pulled a plant from his mom's garden on the way to go meet her because that wasn't flowers. That wasn't any sort of bouquet. That was just a plant. I could see the roots in the dirt kind of trailing behind him as he entered the airport.
Yeah, so he got her a plant. First I was like, why? She cannot bring it back to the US. But apparently she loves plants. And then I thought of, oh, she's a vegan baker. Of course she loves plants. So I get that. All right, nice gesture. But here's the thing. She was so excited, literally jumping up and down, very, very intense hugging. I think he was very overwhelmed by it because I think it's easy for you to receive something like this if you feel the same about a person. I don't think he feels that way about her.
It was a strange meeting. I wrote down it was a giddy embrace. And it didn't look like 2 lovers meeting. There was some other emotion happening where, I don't know, longtime friends who haven't seen each other in a while or almost like brother, sister, but like it was giddy. There was excitement, definitely more on her side, but no romance. There was no kiss. Vanja was hoping he would plant a kiss on her, plant the big one. Instead, she got the actual plant. There was no romance in this embrace.
There was no romance. That's very true. And I first was like, okay, they just met, sure. But then later on, I realized that I don't know that he sees it as a romance.
Yeah, I think maybe, and it's too early to tell.
I think he sees it as an opportunity.
An opportunity.
His 6-year relationship didn't work out. He tried to get back together. I think she was probably like, bro, you live with your mom. Like, I'm out. Like, no. And then it's like he thinks, oh, maybe Vanja, someone who has her shit together, could maybe help me. Maybe I can latch onto her boob.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's an opportunity. So what did you think of this first event? Because we've done a group cooking class. We did it in Rome. It was beautiful.
A lot of fun.
I wouldn't say it was romantic, but we didn't do it straight from the airport, and we didn't do it as a first event when we just met each other. I have thoughts on this. What do you think about leaving the airport and going to this group cooking class?
I think that's a horrible idea because, first of all, she flew internationally. That altogether was about 15 hours. She missed her flight, so it adds some hours. I think she should have gone to her Airbnb, shower, change her clothes, and go to dinner, chat.
Yeah.
Like, I love the idea of a cooking class in a different country. I think it's fun, especially if you enjoy cooking, like I do and you do too occasionally. But do it the next day. Having this as the first thing, straight off the airport, in your airport clothes. Not for me. No, thank you.
Yeah, I don't think Bozo was really thinking it through. I think on paper, the idea is nice and romantic. And then in reality, yes, straight from the airport, that's a strike. The fact that it's a group cooking class with a person you literally just met minutes ago, that's a strike. I think if it was private, still I wouldn't like it going straight from the airport, but I would like it a little bit more because, okay, here's a little intimate setting. We can get to know each other in person. You're surrounded by these people. And then these people, and I'm sure it was producer encouraged, but they start questioning the relationship. And what's your story, guys? You guys official or something in between? Like, we see what happens, but it's like, I don't know. They're probably trying to figure that out themselves. And now you have these people you have to explain yourselves to.
Well, I think Vanja thought that they are official. They are boyfriend, girlfriend. But Bozo said, we're just nice friends. Yikes. Whatever that means.
Yeah.
Which is yikes, especially in front of strangers.
It's yikes, but I think what's more yikes is Vanja going, no, we're not. Why would I come here from Orlando for a friend? It's like, guys, let's have this conversation in private.
Yeah. So Bozo was like, no, we're actually married. My ring is in the car. It's like, so this is how funny you are.
Get this guy a Netflix special because this is the level of comedy I'm looking for.
Yeah, no. I mean, great for us, but I felt bad. I felt bad for Vanja. She seems like someone loves to dress up, loves to do her hair, makeup. She's been in this clothes and this makeup, which don't wear a lot of makeup on the plane because it like crawls off your face because of the air on the plane.
True.
Especially when you fly across the world. I think all she wanted to do is to shower, put some nice clothes on, go to dinner.
Yeah.
I know how I feel when we fly to Europe. I want to shower. I mean, we do often chat with my parents, have some drinks, hang out, but we want to shower.
Yeah.
You want to get comfortable.
So they end up leaving this cooking class. Things are a little awkward because of what transpired. Vanja doesn't want to address it. Hopes, okay, it's just a misunderstanding. We'll work through it. They get to the apartment that Vanja rented. Gorgeous.
Beautiful.
She rented this place for 3 weeks. Here's the thing. They never discussed if Bozo was going to stay there.
Which is interesting because why wouldn't you?
You live with your mom.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be jumping at the chance to stay at this gorgeous apartment? But also, how would you not discuss this? This is where, yes, Vanja does think there's something more serious. Oh, I traveled from Orlando here, not just for a friend. But if you're more serious, wouldn't you have these conversations? Are you going to stay with me? Are we going to share this apartment? Where should I stay? Am I staying with you? How has that conversation not been had?
I don't know, but she whips out the air freshener she made for him.
This is ridiculous.
And squished cookies because he wanted to try her cuisine. It's literally a dough.
Was it raw? I think it was just
No.
smushed.
It was cooked. It was squished.
Smushed?
That too.
Yeah. Either way, it was not an aphrodisiac.
No, he loves the freshener. He eats that squished cookie. But then he said, I'm very tired. I want to go home. And Vanja said, we can stay on the couch.
Oh, there's a beautiful couch here. Vanja needs a little work on her game.
Yeah, but he's like, no, thank you. Thank you very much. You're such a sweetheart.
And she's like, oh, did I not bribe you enough to stay? He's like, oh, yeah, I'll just go. Like, okay, Vanya, you think you're in some relationship with this man, but you're not acting that way. If you were in a relationship, why would you offer the couch? Wouldn't you offer your bed?
Well, I think after what happened at the cooking class, you're not going to offer your bed.
I guess. But now
they're nice friends.
I know, but then he was like, no, just kidding. The ring's in the car.
Do you bang your friends? I hope not.
Nah, friends with benefits. But then have a conversation. Don't just be like, oh, I guess I didn't bribe you enough to stay. Now the whole thing is weird and uncomfortable from the start.
Yeah.
Have a conversation. You got to air it out immediately. Don't let this thing fester. Now it's going to get awkward.
And that's why it's my new favorite couple.
It's a good couple. All right. Well, that's where we're at with them.
Let's go to Chidi and Rayne.
Okay, I think this is where Angela stays when she is in Lagos. This place looks very familiar. I think I can still see some cake on the ground from where she smashed the cake in Michael's face. I'm pretty sure, Colin, you guys know better than me, I'm sure. But I think the Lagos traveling is where Angela resides.
I mean, possibly.
So
I'm sure they get a deal.
This is very dramatic. Renee's just like staring out the hotel window, crying. I feel like there's like raindrops hitting the window. So much drama.
Yeah, it's the worst day of her life because she's alone in the hotel and she's been so hurt in the past. And now Chidi is not the Chidi she talked to on the phone. This is a different Chidi.
So I want to go back to her past because I'm looking at my notes and wondering if this is what you have as well. Her baby daddy, the father of her child, left her just randomly one night. She said she was 3 months pregnant.
Yeah.
He just gave her a hug and left. Is that what you had too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have anything about a hug, but he apparently left her when she was 3 months pregnant.
Okay, he hugged her and then left, never to be seen again. And apparently other men have left her too.
Yeah, listen, I feel bad, but I don't because she's so nuts. That if people keep believing you, maybe look at yourself and things you do because we all know Rayne is absolutely nuts. Her beliefs and everything is crazy. Her acting, her anger issues are not okay. Like she has a lot of issues. And her saying, oh, I gave up on love before. When she gave up on love, she should have really paid attention to herself and tried to find a way to love herself because I don't think she does. And that's why she got so into Chidi who can't see, she thought, all right, well, here's a guy who can't judge me the way I look because in her head, she thinks that's the issue. Meanwhile, well, you look like a normal looking woman. That's not the issue.
No.
That's the least of your issues.
The issue is what's on the inside.
Yeah. And I don't think she knows it.
No, she doesn't. She lives in this world where she thinks, yes, it's all about the physical. And so if someone doesn't like me, it must be because of the physical.
Yeah, no, that's not it, Rayne. I mean, you're a normal looking woman. There's nothing wrong with you. Your looks should not be your concern whatsoever. I'll give you a list of things I'm concerned about. I'm scared of her just watching it.
A little scary.
Yeah.
So then we see Chidi at home, and somehow he's still torn. He feels a bit responsible for what happened, but then also just can't accept how Rayne treated his family.
As he shouldn't. That was awful.
But for some reason, he wants her to come back. He's like, my ultimate desire is for her to come back and for us to be together. And his sister and brother-in-law are like, that makes no sense.
Because he lives in a fantasy. He lives in I think he likes the Rayne he talks to on the phone.
Yes.
The angry Rayne that flipped, yelled at him, yelled in his face, yelled at his sister. He probably doesn't think that that's the real Rayne, but we all know that that is the real Rayne.
There's that. I also think he's a man of his word, and he promised Rayne he would always be there for her because she's told him how she's been treated in the past, how men have left her. And so he said, I'll be there for you. And I think he wants to keep his word, keep his promise. And so I think that's weighing on him. But the family, his sister, his brother-in-law knows they're not all going to be one happy family.
Yeah.
Sister's going to have to leave the picture if they're going to make it work.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking because he has a very good support in his family. His sister loves him. His brother-in-law loves him. It's not like, I have to take care of my brother because no one else can, right?
Right.
They love him. They're a family. That's why it's heartbreaking that they're like, she's not good for you. I mean, are you willing to give up your family for this woman?
It seems like he may be, and that's heartbreaking. Because, he sees, okay, here's a woman who was willing to take care of me and help me. But it's like, your sister has been and will continue to. And there's none of that baggage that comes with Renee. And I get you want a partner. You want someone who can be there with you romantically too. But it's not Renee.
No.
It's not. I mean, Renee was smelling her socks. We just saw her, and somehow this is the most normal thing we've seen her do is just sit there and smell her socks.
She said it smells bad. It's like
I would imagine.
She's smelling her clothes too, and then she washes her clothes in a bathtub.
This was so strange to me. This whole segment with Renee at the hotel was so strange.
She has a lot of mental issues, I think.
Oh, yeah. And she just sits there smelling her socks, waiting every night for Chidi to come knock on the door.
Yeah, so that is this very uncomfortable self-video of her wearing this lacy pajamas, really showing us all the angles. I was like, well, this is not OnlyFans. You go to OnlyFans once you're done filming 90.
Well, I think she's almost there. Her time is almost up, I think.
But she said, this is what I got. So Chidi can feel it. He texted me. He's going to come. I'm like...
He might come, but I don't think it's going to go this way. I don't think it's going
to come and tell her goodbye.
Yeah, I don't think it's going in a lingerie kind of way. Also, he can't see.
Well, she said feel.
I know, but what? I don't know. I don't think this is going to help your case.
Well, not even that. He told her he doesn't want to get sexual before marriage. So what are you going to do? You're going to put on this sexy pajamas and let him touch you? Like that's not what he wants to do. Like that's also kind of what's the right word? If he comes, he wants to talk, not to be touching your lacy pajamas. It's like
right. Well, the reason I think it's not going to go the way she wants is because Chidi met up with his friend Christian, and Chidi was kind of filling Christian in on everything that's been going on. And he's like, Christian says, well, you gotta be honest with her. You can't live with a woman like this. You can't spend the rest of your life like this. And sometimes the hardest thing to do is the right thing. Sometimes if you love someone, you just got to let them go.
Yeah. And he also says, I don't understand why Chidi loves Renee. She talks about demons.
Yeah. Man. It's very troubling and sad and scary.
And she is scary. I just hope that all the rumors about them getting kicked out of the tell-all are wrong, because I need them on the tell-all.
Oh, well, apparently she got very racist. And that's why. Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
Which I've seen some screenshots. I think she did get very racist.
Oh, and that's not good.
That's why she's been excused from the tell-all, which I don't know. Again, it's just something I saw on the internet. Can't trust everything you say.
Well, that's awful. It sucks because I wanted her on the tell-all, but yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, no. She seems very problematic. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone.
I think if she was on the tell-all, I can see her going even more nuts that we've seen Angela.
Maybe.
I can see her like start like throwing chairs, tearing the set apart, like yelling, bringing like 100 little chickens there.
Yeah, that's the one thing Angela doesn't have, meth muscles. And I think Renee has meth muscles. So you're right. Anything could happen with Renee. But all right. I think this is a good place to take a break. When we come back, we will talk about Tigerlily and Adnan. How does that sound?
Yes.
All right. We'll take a break, tell you about our sponsors for this episode, and we'll be back in a second. This episode is sponsored by Truvaga Plus. Guys, the most wonderful time of the year is right around the corner, but so is the most stressful time of year. Shopping lists, family visits, running all over the place, and of course, trying to keep up with all the drama of our reality TV shows. It can feel like there's never enough time to unwind. Well, there is some good news. If you're already feeling that holiday pressure, here's a little gift from me to you, Truvaga Plus. It's a special little device I've been using that helps me slow down and embrace the season. With just 2 minutes in the morning and 2 minutes in the evening, Truvaga Plus stimulates the vagus nerve, promoting calmness, clearer thinking, and better sleep. And let me tell you, those sessions make all the difference. I'm falling asleep faster, feeling less frazzled, and even staying more present when things get hectic. Plus, with unlimited sessions and a super easy-to-use companion app, it's been like my personal secret weapon for keeping holiday stress in check. If you want to find your own calm amidst the holiday madness, head over to Truvaga.com/MTR. That's TRUVAGA.com/MTR and get $15 off your own Truvaga or Truvaga Plus device. We'll also put a link in the show notes. Trust me, this is your holiday helper you didn't know you needed.
This episode is sponsored by Hormone Harmony. Ladies, who out there is struggling with those pre-period days? If you are, let me tell you about a game changer, Hormone Harmony. It's an all-in-one hormonal support that's making life easier for women everywhere. Whether you're going through menopause, perimenopause, or just feeling off, finding comfort in your body can be tough. If you're caught in the chaos of hormonal changes, Hormone Harmony is here to help. And it's not just for menopause. Any woman dealing with symptoms of hormonal changes like hot flashes, night sweats, low moods, or restless nights can benefit from Hormone Harmony. It's packed with adaptogens, herbal extract scientifically designed to help your body adapt to stress and those unpredictable hormonal shifts. And what's even better, our friends at Happy Mammoth are committed to top-notch quality and effectiveness. It's no wonder a bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds and over 17,000 women are singing its praises, saying they finally feel like themselves again. Now, here's the really good part. For a limited time, you can get 15% of your entire order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code MERIT at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use the code MERIT to save 15% today. We'll have the link in the show notes, but once more, head over to happymammoth.com and enter the code MERIT, that's MARRIED, for 15% off your first order. It's time to start feeling like yourself again.
And we're back.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, Teresa. How are things on your side of the table?
Oh, pretty good.
All right. You want to talk about Tigerlily and Adnan?
Let's do it. It's 1.5 months after she returned, and she's going back tomorrow.
Yeah, I was a little confused by this storyline last episode because I'm like, all right, well, that seems like they wrapped it up. What's going to happen now for the other 2/3 of this season? But
I knew that either she's going back or that's it.
Okay, so she is going back, but things haven't been great. Absence has not made the heart grow fonder. Things have not gone easier with the separation. There's just been more issues piling up.
Yeah, because Adnan became more controlling.
Which I could see happening. I could see you're out of sight.
Yeah.
That is causing more concern. I can't keep an eye on you. So if I can't keep an eye on you, I'm just going to create more rules and regulations so that it makes me feel like, okay, you're not doing anything wrong.
Yes. So we see her going to the salon to see Cruz to get her hair done before the trip. And I assume she's not bringing her glam squad.
She's not bringing her glam squad. She's also not going to bring her glam clothes. She's handing over, I don't know, does Shay work with Cruz? Are they in a relationship together? I don't know.
Both.
Because Tigerlily is giving a bag of clothing to Cruz to give to Shay. It's a bunch of revealing clothing that she can no longer wear.
Yeah, some of them are brand new. I'm like, can you send me some?
Send some this way, send some to Goodwill. But I guess Shay needs these clothes more than anyone.
Yeah, and Cruz is like, oh, hi. I mean, I don't even know. Can I hug you? Like, I don't know how to act around you.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't want to smear anyone, but I can't tell if he's trying to be respectful or if he's trying to kind of turn his nose up at Adnan and his rules and kind of just mock it a little bit?
I think both. I think obviously if he wasn't being respectful, he would have hugged her and be like, not sure if this is okay.
But is he trying to shine a light on like the ridiculousness of it or what he thinks is the ridiculousness of it? Or like otherwise, just like the dance he's doing almost seems a little disrespectful as opposed to just like letting Tigerlily take the lead. Hey, this is your relationship. This is your man. These are your rules to live by. I don't know. It's not his place to like call it out.
No, but I almost feel like I would do the same thing. Like if I was put in a strange situation that I'm not supposed to hug or shake someone's hand, I'm used to. I'll be like, oh, okay, I guess we can do it right now. Well, hello. I would get awkward too. I can totally see him being like, I don't know what to do, and I'm just talking.
That's true, I guess. If you've created this habit and you have a routine of how you greet someone and now that's changed.
Yeah, I would totally, like, this would be literally me acting the exact same way.
Yeah. Well, okay. We know that all these customs have become an issue because Tigerlily recently was having back pain, so she went to a chiropractor. Adnan didn't know what a chiropractor was. I guess, Teresa, you didn't know either.
And I do know who a chiropractor is.
Who?
A chiropractor.
Okay. All right. Chiropractor?
Chiropractor.
Is that how you say it in Czech?
Close.
All right. Well, chiropractor. Adnan didn't know what it was, so he went to TikTok to find out. And apparently, Chirotalk is just full of muscly men bending women in sexual positions.
Yeah, or they help you with your back.
Not the ones he found. And so that set him off. And he created a whole bunch of more rules now that Tigerlily has to follow. Like, oh, I'm going to tell you which doctors you can go see and who you can't see.
Yeah, he wants her to only see female doctors, which that's crazy because it's hard to find a doctor you click with, in my opinion.
Sure.
It took me a while to find a good doctor, and I had a female doctor before. I hated her, not because she was a female. I did not like her. And then I learned that my beautiful husband over here has a great doctor.
Great doctor.
So I tried to sneak in. So now we have the same doctor. Yeah. And if you told me, oh, you can see him because he's a male, I would be like, are you kidding me? It took me forever to find a good doctor that I trust and that listens to my needs.
Now, of course, you can see whoever you want to see. I would imagine you would want to see a woman doctor the same way I feel more comfortable seeing a male doctor. That's not the case. You want to see the best doctor for you. I feel comfortable because I know this doctor, because he is my doctor. And so I have a rapport with him and he seems like a respectable guy.
Yeah.
If you were seeing a different doctor that I had no idea about, my mind might wander a little bit and run away with itself. And I would be picturing you in certain chirotalk situations, but
not really, because I think a lot of these, which is interesting to me, in the Czech Republic, your primary doctor isn't your OBGYN too.
Is or is not?
It's not.
It's not here either.
It is.
No, you have an OB.
Oh, because I want to have an OB, but I don't need an OB. They would do all the stuff at your yearly checkup.
Oh, hell no.
But I do have an OB because it's more comfortable for me. And obviously I'm pregnant, but I always had an OB because I think they know better because they're trained to do that type of stuff, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, but they would ask me when I started going there, they were like, oh, you want to do the classic, the pop, whatever you do.
What a perv. I'm going to have a word with him.
Not him. When I started going there, then they knew. I was like, no, I have an OBGYN. I'm all set there. So it's just a regular checkup.
All right. But and either way, yeah, you should see the doctor you're most comfortable with and that you trust regardless of gender. Tigerlily is not getting this. Adnan does not want this for her. So she ended up ignoring his calls. He did not take this very well. It sent him into a panic attack, sent him into a spiral. He wasn't able to breathe. And so he ended up in the hospital. And I kind of think Tigerlily loves that. In a sick, twisted way, I kind of think Tigerlily interprets it as like, oh my God, he almost died for me. oh my God, look at this. This is how much he loves me, is that he ended up in the hospital for me. She's twisted like that. She's twisted in the same way that she thinks controlling means love. Like, oh my God, he loves me. He controls me. He worries about me. He's concerned. It's the same part of the brain that goes, oh, he ended up in the hospital because he loves me that much.
Well, she also said she thinks it's a little too dramatic and he's trying to manipulate her.
And that's what she tells the camera. She literally said he could be a serial killer and I would marry him. So
True.
She's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And I think anyone will look at this and go, what a nutbag. He had a panic attack and hyperventilated and ended up in the hospital because I sent him to voicemail. That's what the normal people would think, and they would get out of that relationship. I think she's thinking, oh my God, this is how much he loves me. He almost died for me. That's how I see her.
But apparently she's still going on this trip because this trip, it's all about baby making.
Can you imagine? Let's think about this for a second. How much Adnan is going to freak if they have a boy? The idea that another man will be inside Tigerlily may send Adnan to the grave.
Well, I didn't think of that. If
she can't even have a male chiropractor, if you will, can you imagine there being another penis inside Tigerlily?
I mean, I don't think you can really do anything about that.
You sure can't, but doesn't mean Adnan won't flip his lid.
We'll see if they even get to the baby making. One thing is that they're not meeting in Jordan again because of Tigerlily says because of the situation in the Middle East.
Yeah.
So they're going to meet in Istanbul, Turkey.
Yeah. I think, and we've discussed the alimony situation that she was receiving from her ex-husband. I think she may have lost the alimony. Judging by what looked like an Uber Comfort, like I thought Benny was about to pull up and drive her to the airport. Not even an Uber Black that she's taking. Not even no car service, not an Uber Black. I think she was like in some woman with a minivan.
Yeah.
Drove her to the airport. I think she may have lost that alimony.
And her glam squad isn't going with her.
Yeah, I think times are tough now that she's married.
Yeah, we'll see.
So,
I really want to know what's up with that.
Yeah. Then we saw her on the airplane. She was still riding in the front. So.
I mean, Adnan has money.
And maybe she just got miles or something from all the travel. She was in the front of the plane for sure.
I don't think she got cut off entirely because she has kids.
Well, that's child support. That's child support. It's not alimony.
True.
But she was on this flight and she said she was scrolling through social media, came across a very steamy shower photo of Adnan.
Yikes.
She said, delete it. And he said, I'm a man. It's okay for me.
Yeah, it's okay for him to show her chest.
So now she's coming in even hotter than she was before.
Yes.
All right. Watch
see
out.
how that's going to work out.
Watch out, Adnan. All right. Next up.
We've got Matilda and Niles.
So Matilda just stormed out of the club after learning Niles does want to get married on this trip. But Niles chased after her.
Yes, and they're talking in the production van. And Matilda keeps accusing him of lying to her. But Niles says, well, I don't lie. I never said we're getting married on this trip. Matilda makes a good point. She says, well, we were planning the wedding. You never said anything, which is true.
Yes.
If someone's planning a wedding, you not saying anything means you're agreeing with them. If he said, hey, we can plan a wedding, but not on this trip, sure. But I don't think he said it.
Yeah. It's this weird defense he's using, which is we never talked about it in person. So in a way, he almost feels like this online relationship, this back and forth we had online wasn't real, and that we never talked about this wedding in person. It was almost like a fairy tale. It was make-believe. We talked about it online. We're just daydreaming, fantasizing. And now that we've met in person, well, now we can really talk. That was his defense. It's kind of a BS defense. And even the producer calls him out saying, like, you've told us that Matilda was planning the wedding. So you were aware of this and you never said anything to her.
Yeah. So Niles ends up apologizing to Matilda, saying, I'm sorry for not being clear, but yeah, we cannot get married on this trip. We need to get to know each other more. And he started listing all the excuses, not even excuses, alleged points that he should have told her prior.
Yeah. And then he says, well, this is one of the areas I struggle in, my social skills. And I end up only telling half truths because I don't want people to get angry. And so Matilda's starting to see Niles and understand him a little bit more. And she ends up accepting the situation.
Well, he said, I still want to do the knock door ceremony, but let's just wait with the wedding, which is, the knock door is apparently the official engagement.
Yeah.
I just think based on what Matilda says, the tradition is that you do the knock door, you get married immediately after.
Yeah.
For them, they'll need to wait. But Niles said he'll be coming back. They will get married, not on this trip.
Yeah. So a little bit of a break in tradition for Matilda. So a little concerned family is going to accept it, but she's going to accept it for now.
We'll see.
All right. And then we got Brian and Ingrid.
Oh, this was an uncomfortable situation.
Very uncomfortable.
Yeah, so Brian's coming to Ingrid's home because they're going on a little getaway. Obviously, if things don't work out, you go on a getaway, right? Mm-hmm. But Brian wants to meet her parents first because here's my issue with Brian, and we talked about it before. He keeps doing everything very, very fast. Why? You just met Ingrid. Things have not been great. Why are you trying to meet her parents?
It makes me wonder. We know he's had several failed relationships, engagements, marriages. It makes me wonder who ended them. I imagine the woman did. And now is he just trying to lock down ASAP in an attempt to trap Ingrid so that he can't have his heart broken again? Because he moves exceptionally fast.
Yeah.
And there's no real explanation for why he would move that fast unless he's just trying to trap her so that he doesn't lose her.
I don't know, but this wasn't a good idea. And he learns that very quickly when Mother Louisa rolls in.
Yeah, so mom and dad were supposed to come. Dad said he had to work, so he couldn't show up.
Yeah, but Ingrid tells us that, that was an excuse. My dad does not approve.
Yeah. I got real nervous when Brian said he had a gift for mom because we know what types of gift Brian likes to give.
Yeah, but this wasn't a great gift either. Why would you buy a purse for a woman you don't know, you've never met? I don't think it's a good idea. You need to come with something simple just to show that you care. Bring a bomboniera, bring a bouquet.
Yeah.
A purse is very aggressive for a first meeting.
The purse to me says two things. It says, one, you don't know women, maybe, because you just think, oh, women love purse, right? Like every woman loves a purse. And then it shows me you're trying to buy affection because purses, I think on paper or actual in reality, can tend to be expensive. And you're trying to show like, oh no, I'm going to spend more than just on flowers or more than just chocolate. I'm going to buy you a purse. I'm going to buy your love. And I don't like that.
No, I'm going to kind of like shine a little light from my foreigner perspective. I might be wrong about him, but when I moved to the US, right, I discovered Century 21.
All right.
I'm not sure if the stores are everywhere, but they're in the northeast.
I've only seen them in New York, to be honest.
Yeah, New York and New Jersey has some too.
Maybe Philly, but okay.
So I discovered Century 21, which is basically a store that's an outlet, like brand outlet, right? Mm-hmm. But it's all in one store. And it was fabulous. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, I can buy a Tommy Hilfiger purse that in the Czech Republic was so expensive. And here it was $25, right? And so I loved it so much. So when I went home, I remember I did buy a purse for my mom that was, I forgot what brand it was, but it was a brand that was very expensive in Czech, but I spent $35-40 on it, right? I bought a purse for my friend, same thing. But it was because I'm like, oh yeah, this is like the brands that we spend so much money on and it's so cheap here and it's such a statement, right? This is me in my early 20s.
Okay.
Then I kind of, I don't know, I don't do it anymore. There are brands I like, I buy it, but they're quality enough, they last me for years. And I kind of pivoted from, let me go back to the Czech Republic and show off, right? That was my au pair years.
Okay.
But I feel like there might be this, maybe because he's been to Brazil multiple times and people love brands, especially if they're not available, very expensive in their countries, especially purses. Maybe he thought, if I bring her like a branded purse, she's going to love it and thinks it's fabulous.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like he's trying to buy her affection. Unless Ingrid said, my mom loves purses, such a purse slut. Why don't you get her a purse?
But you don't know her style. You don't know. I would never buy a purse. Like, yes, my mom is still obsessed with Michael Kors. So I did buy her a Michael Kors purse, I don't know, last time we went. But I know my mom. So I knew that, this purplish shade she's going to love. Otherwise, I wouldn't spend $100 on a purse.
No. Either way, I don't think it worked for Brian because she's being very cold, seems uninterested, doesn't seem to approve. He's not sure if it's because he's in the wheelchair or because he's an American, but he can sense either way. She's not really warming up to me.
No, to the point that Ingrid cooks, set up the table outside. Brian gets there. Ingrid sits down and says, hey, Mom, lunch is ready. And Mom is like, I'm not doing it.
It's so messed up.
It is. It's very rude. I think Mom should have at least sit down and eat with them.
You showed up. Dad was the rudest of them all. By lying and saying I'm busy and just not showing up. You at least came and showed your face, but now I'm going like, is that even a ruder to show up and then just be like, I'm going to sit in the kitchen while you guys go out and eat? I found it very rude.
Yeah.
She says, no, it's not the wheelchair. She's talking to the producer and saying she's just trying to process it all. She can't. She said she couldn't understand why Ingrid would want to be with a man from another country.
Yeah. I think the age is also an issue. Like, he's like 2 years younger than Mom.
That's a good point. I think maybe her fear is I'm going to lose my daughter. If she's dating someone from America, maybe she's going to go move to America and I'm going to lose my daughter.
Well, especially because Brian said, I'm from Chicago. I would love for Ingrid to come and visit.
Right. But the way you're acting, Mom, is not going to make Ingrid want to stay. If she loves Brian, and at this point, I don't think you know, Mom, how she feels one way or the other. But if she loves Brian and you're not creating a welcoming environment for him, then she's going to leave and go be with him.
Yeah, hopefully not, because they don't have a good relationship. Let's just put it this way. But yeah, Mom was being a little too rude. Like, you might disagree with him or dislike him, but you showed up, have that lunch, and then, you can share what you think, but don't be so dismissive that they're eating literally outside and you're staring at them from the inside. Yeah.
I didn't like it one bit. Ingrid, I think, was a little put off by her mom's behavior too. She said you could have at least sat down and tried to get to know him. Mom kind of just laughed that comment off. So it was a little sad all around. I wasn't sure maybe if Mom warmed up to Brian at the end, she gave him a hug goodbye, but maybe she's just excited to see him leave. It wasn't the lunch anyone was hoping for.
Yeah, this was awkward.
And then we have one more couple.
We have Faith and Loren.
So they're going to meet Faith's family. Before they do, they go to the beach. They have a little beach day, play in the water. Seems like they're on better terms for now.
Yeah, I think Faith forgot about a gonorrhea because they're getting a little cozy.
Yeah, friends don't massage their friends' feet, Faith.
Yeah, I think Faith loves him. I think Faith is trying to separate the love and the friendship because now they're friends because of him cheating on her. But I think she's having a hard time with it.
Well, here's where we learn a bit more about Faith. And we learn she's a hard worker. She's driven. She's ambitious. She explains She left home when she was 13 to start working in Manila and sending money home because her dad was sick. He died of a heart attack. So they were very poor. Someone needed to make money. So she stepped up, right? She moved alone. No, she has siblings, but no one moved except her. She found a job. She finished school and she made money for her family. And she's got this great work ethic. She's a hard worker. Quite the opposite of Loren.
Literally the opposite of Loren. And what pissed me off is that Loren said, well, I'm here to help you support your family. Dude, you came with $40 in a backpack. How are you going to help?
Yeah, and I think that may be Faith's big concern is, hey, I bust my ass here. I've been supporting people my entire life.
Yeah.
I could use a little help. I don't think she wants to have to support one more person. And here comes Loren, who's like, yeah, I'm going to move to the Philippines and just live my best life, YOLO. And Faith's going, oh, okay, so I have to support you too? And I don't think she wants to.
No. And he's asking her, it's like, are you going to tell your family what I did? And Faith said, maybe. And Loren said,
weird. I think that's weird.
Yeah, don't tell your parents that the guy you brought, even if it's a friend, has a gonorrhea.
Don't say he slept with other people. Don't say he's got STDs or STIs. Like, why? What's the point? You don't have to say, oh, this is my boyfriend. Oh, this is my love. But you definitely don't have to say, yeah, this guy's got a leaky penis.
Yeah.
That's unnecessary.
But Loren said, well, it's fine. It's up to Faith. If she wants to tell them, sure.
Yeah.
Oof.
Well, that's the episode, Teresa.
It was a good one. I mean,
they're all good.
Episode is a good one.
This season's wild. And there's still another couple yet to come.
I know. I'm wondering, what are they waiting for?
Joe and Magda. Joe from Florida and Magda from Poland.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
what are they waiting for?
Maybe one of these other couples to drop out, like Vanja and Sunny. Are they going to be able to reconcile? I don't know. So, all right. Stay tuned. I'm excited. Loving this season so far.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
Thank you guys for listening. If you guys want to hear our thoughts on The Other Way and soon to be Last Resort, join us on Patreon. Join us on Supercast. Patreon.com/marriedtoreality. Marriedtoreality@supercast.com. We got some fun bonuses coming. We got the monthly bonus for the family affair. All good things happen on Patreon and Supercast. Also, follow us on Instagram @MarriedToRealityPod. Call in, share your thoughts, say hello. We love to hear from you guys. So make sure you're following us on Instagram @MarriedToRealityPod.
Yes.
Also, make sure you're following the podcast wherever you're listening. It's so easy to do. Just look down and smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as heard. Here's the previews for next week.
Wow, pretty hot.
It's going to be fun.
Oh, all right. And last but not least, if you haven't left a review, please do. You guys know we're suckers for a little love. If you leave a 5-star review and you write something, we'll read on this podcast for the world to hear.
Yes.
The entire world, Teresa.
Entire world.
Every single person.
Yes.
All right. That is it. I've said it all.
I've said it all.
Sure have. It means we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.